Hello students, today I'm here with a new topic that is the Vedic civilization. We have read about the Harappan civilization, yes, Mesopotamian civilization, Chinese civilization. If you remember that when we read about the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization, we read that the decline of Indus Valley was the Aryans. Yes, somewhere it was a not an exact question on that how the Indus Valley civilization uh, ruined up. It was, but still we say that the Aryans were there who actually took over that particular time period, and later it was called as the Vedic civilization or the Vedic civilization. Vedic civilization was near about from 2000 to 600 BC. The same आपने जितने भी अभी तक के civilization you were read, now you are very much known about the different civilization and actually their dates as well as their periods also. So in Vedic civilization को बड़ा simple way में एक story की तरह हम पढ़ेंगे, ज़्यादा उसमें contradicting नहीं करना है. When you have a real image of that particular Vedic civilization, you will get to know about the few features of Aryans also, जो today के which have made a great impact in today's world also. The Vedic civilization, the name itself reveals that it would have some kind of contribution of the Vedas, or the literature would have been written during that time. So before the Vedic civilization, we should know about the Aryans. Aryans actually migrated from the ancestral home that is near the Carcass Mountains or the north of the Black Sea in Central Asia. When we read about that, how the people of different nomads, or we can say Sumerians, they moved from the this Indus Valley civilization. In the map you can see here near about the Caspian Sea. See, हमने जब यूरोप का देखा था, Egyptian, the Caspian Sea, they moved, the Aryans moved from the Caspian Sea near about the Hindu Kush mountains, which are the mountains which are passed near the Pakistan area, or the Hindu Kush जो है mountains, they are near the or in the Pakistan area. So they passed from this Hindu Kush mountains and entered, or we can say, the Indian civilization or the India through this different rivers, because river to base tha civilization ka. So when they moved from the Central Asia or the entered the Indus Valley by the fabled Khyber Pass, or the Hindu Kush mountains in the Pakistan, we say that it actually captured the India to the northwest region, स्पेशली इस तरह से जो मैप होता है हमारा रफ मैप है, यहाँ से ये इंडिया के अंदर एंटर हुए, एंड वी हैव डिफरेंट रिवर्स ओवर हियर. सो वी से दैट दे फॉलोड द सेवन रिवर्स स्टेट और द सप्त सिंधु किसको कहा गया? पंजाब, 5 rivers, yes. So that time Punjab तो नाम नहीं था, but we say Sapt Sindhu. So the rivers which were moving from here, you would have read the different Sanskrit name, Kurushani, Satluj ka Satadari. So these were the different Sanskrit names, and the rivers, the 5 rivers which arose from here, they followed that region of that particular rivers, and they started living near the river. That is the actually given rise to any kind of a civilization. So rivers here, Ganga and Yamuna, when they later lived or followed the Ganga and Yamuna and they settled near these rivers, this was called as the later Vedic period. But before, they only occupied the little more of the northern region of the this India. So we say that Aryans migrated from the ancestral home, that is the Europe. Still, Europe, they have still the some of their culture, some of their language, Indo-European culture, जिसको हम बोलते हैं. So early settlements, they occupy whole of the North India. They settle near Sapt Sindhu, moving along the rivers, which is we call them as like Punjab, the river, the land of 5 rivers. The period where the Aryans settled down in the Gangetic valleys, which was known as the later Vedic age. So means civilization would have been divided into two, the early and the later. And later actually was contributed with the different epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana, you all know about it. So This was the contradictory that how did we get the information of the Aryans? It was from these Vedas, from this epics that we could know about the Aryans. So now coming to the different concepts of during the Vedic civilization, we say that why how the first of all the question arises that what is actually the Indo-Aryans? The Indo-Aryans were the nomad who were actually light skinned and they moved from the European and entered the Hindu Kush and passes here and they actually settled here. So this period was called as the Vedic civilizations. Then, sorry, coming to the different Vedas over here. If we talked about the different Vedas, Vedas kya hai? We should also know about it. In our culture, Hindu culture, we can say that Vedas are the sacred books of Aryans. Okay, and Sanskrit was used during that time. We still, learn read this type of Sanskrit as well as in different epics also. They are all written in the Sanskrit language. So Veda is the Sanskrit word which means knowledge. Then the different collections of Vedas were written like different poetries were written, hymns were written, charms were written, litanies. Litanies मतलब जो काव्य लिखे जाते थे बड़े बड़े है ना आदि काव्य जिसको हम बोलते हैं poems जिनको बोलते हैं so which are still in our we can say in our libraries in our ancient libraries where we can read these type of Vedas. The major four Vedas of our Indian culture are the Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the oldest. It is the oldest one or the oldest Veda. This is also a GK question. That which Veda is the oldest Veda? This is the Rig Veda. Then we have Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and the Athar Veda. आप देखना whenever you if you get an idea about this Vedas, they consist of each their own quality or they have their own like topics to read from this particular Vedas. उससे हमें knowledge मिला कि how Aryans lived during that time. Then when we talk about the Vedic culture or the Veda, they have different Brahmanas who actually explains the meaning of sacrifices. The Upanishads are there, also called as Vedantas, as well as Puran are there. विष्णु पुराण हो गया सुख सागर हो गया उपनिषद जो है हमारे वेदांतास हैं okay these all were the religious books of the Aryans. See, still we preach them, we worship them. So books are the major or the important gold mines. Yes, so we should all read the books. Then the Vedic culture, we can say the Vedic civilization was actually divided into two parts or the two different parts. This was the Brahmavarta and the Aryavarta. Okay, the Brahm and the Arya. Arya I will read later, but just now, just to mention Brahmavarta and the Aryavarta. The Brahmavarta, during which Vedic literature was written, and it is said to be the Vedic age, when settled in India and they gave birth to the Vedic civilization. A question again and again, one line is again, what is Vedic age and what is Vedic civilization and what is why it is called as the Vedic civilization. So the period during which the Vedas were written or the Vedic literature was written, it is called as the Vedic age. Okay, so during that time, in the Aryans permanently settled in India and they gave birth to this Vedic civilization. And because of this, we could have a chief knowledge of the different Vedas, and which was later on being divided into two periods. Before also I mentioned it was known as early Vedic and the later Vedic age or the age. This is 2000 to 1000, and from 1000 to 600 BC was the later Vedic age. Now, the epic age जिसको हम बोलते हैं, the epic age was the Rig Veda age. ऋग वेदा को एपिक एज इसलिए कहा गया था because it was the oldest one in which people actually laid the life, their economic life, they shared their social life in this particular Veda. See, if I give you the knowledge about that Rig Veda and the oldest text in the world, little more about your GK, थोड़ा सा वो कर लेते हैं. It has divided into different mandalas. उसमें पुरुष शक्ति के बारे में बता रखा है, उसमें 4 वर्णास के बारे में बता रखा है. गायत्री मंत्र इज ऑल्सो इन दिस ऋग्वेदा, and they also worship the Savitri. And the all the 3 rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari. Okay, so we can say that Rig Veda is the oldest, which consists of different collections of lyrics and they praise the god. Yajurveda किसके बारे में थी? Yajurveda is the book of sacrificial prayers. If someone asks you like what is Yajurveda में, उसमें क्या चीज है, they have written the rules which is followed during the sacrifices. They are different Vedas and they have their different roles as well. Samaveda, this is a collection of songs, Indian music. So one who will be reading or who reads the Indian music will definitely read Samaveda. Then Atharveda was a book of magical spells. The one who do the evil things. They cure some kind of a evil or this yagna and diseases. They do read the Atharveda. So हमारे कोश कितने important हैं. They all have different types of information in this. Yes, Niruka, the oldest dictionary in the world. ये उस वक्त की है. The Aryans were so knowledgeable that they wrote such a kind of Vedas. We still, we follow them. We can say this. So coming back to our topic, that is why we call that Rig Veda is the epic age where actually people prevailed and started living this particular life. So we now will come to the social social conditions. Now social condition में क्या है, जो villages थे, the Aryans lived in a group. They believe in their joint families. जैसे हम आज भी गांव में अगर जाते हैं, we call them ग्राम. गांव को हमेशा वो नाम दिया जाता है, we call them ग्राम. हिंदी में भी हमने पढ़ा है ये ग्राम. ओके, या गांव जिसको हम बोलते हैं. सो नंबर ऑफ जॉइंट फैमिलीज क्या होती है? नंबर ऑफ द जॉइंट फैमिलीज मेक और कॉल्ड एज द ग्राम, एंड दे हैव द मेन एंट्रेंस. इस तरह से कोई गांव होगा, हम बोलते हैं ना कि ये गांव इन ट्राइब्स का है या इन फैमिलीज का है. दे ऑल लिव टुगेदर हियर एंड दे वर ऑल हैविंग अ सिंगल एंट्रेंस गेट टू एंटर इनसाइड. ऐसा नहीं कि सबने अपने अपने घर है, बट ये वैसा ही है जैसे किसी ने कोई बड़े से प्लॉट में एक विलेज बनाए हैं बहुत सारे, एंड दे हैव अ सिंगल एंट्रेंस. So houses are constructed in a very systematic way and they were made up of bamboo, straw, reeds. जैसे oldest village area में still we are going here. If we go to the areas, we still have these type of houses. And the group of villages is called as Vish. जो villages थे, we call them as Vish. The Aryans attached the great importance to the this social life. Social organization में, living में, the Aryans believed a lot. They live together. They probably have different grandparents, different generations to live together. So we can say that Aryans were used to give great importance to the social organization. And the king, which was actually the head of the tribe, we can say, he used to, the king का काम क्या होता है? Defend करना, to take the action, to maintain the peace, as well as he does not make very much interference between the village people, as हमारे local self governments होती है. Okay, then coming to the family life, how the family life is carried on during that time, we can say that during that time the family system, अब हम joint family की बात कर रहे हैं, the primary unit of the society, so believed that they have a single, जैसे in our house also we have a nuclear family nowadays, but still the one who is the eldest take on the charge of that particular family. The male part during that time was called as the eldest one and take the responsibility of whole of the family was called as grahapati. Grahapati जो सबसे बड़ा है, eldest है उस family में, he used to take the all the responsibility, called as the grahapati. Then we can also call that type of family system as patriarchal. Patriarchal means from their children, from their grandfathers, from their grandchildren, the people are living together in that particular same house. Okay, so that called as the patriarchal system. They believe in all the rituals, they believe in all the orders by the eldest of the family, so that is called as the patriarchal family system. So then women had a great importance. From the point of view of the Mesopotamian civilization, from the Egyptian, women's actually played a very important role from that period. So we can say that women had a very high position in the society, that no religious ceremonies were organized without the wife or without the wife together with the husband. It was conducted. No parda system were there. They don't used to put any kind of veil. Then women of noble families were educated with the best skills. Education might be not there, but they give them or they prepared them with the good skills, like craftsmanship हो गया, weaving का काम हो गया, anything. But they were very much with the good skills. Then they composed different Rig Veda hymns also, as well as they were able to choose their own husbands by organizing the स्वयंवर. स्वयं मतलब स्वयं के लिए वर choose करना, choose the groom we can say. So she used to choose his own husband, her own husband by her choice. So women plays a privilege during that particular time. Then division of society. The division of society were of four varnas. ये important है हमारा. Till here, family may who was called as the Grahapati. What kind of family system was there, and what are the different this Vedas are there? Which is the oldest one? Okay, and how the Aryans, why it is called as Vedic civilization, what is Vedic age, in how many parts it has been divided. Till here it is a little more short questions I have been discussing with you. Then different society, they have four varnas. Brahmanas, who actually today also we follow this, who actually carry out all the religious ceremony in our houses also. वो यज्ञ हो, might be कोई मुहूर्त के लिए, any kind of a ritual, it is done by the Brahmanas. Kshatriyas, they were the rulers or the warriors, we can also say, okay, and who govern and defend the land. Then Vaishyas were the farmers or the agriculturists, okay, or the merchants during that time, who actually carried out the different works of cattle rearing as well as the trade. That is all merchant and bankers are the trade, we can say tradesmen. Then Shudras were we can say the lowest one, who were the artisans or the laborers and used to work for all the three status of this society. So till here, I think so it is clear. Coming to the food and food habits, Aryans as well as different civilizations, they all believe in the agriculture, domestication. So they eat a very simple food. They were having knowledge about the different types of food. They grew wheat, maize, barley. They use the milk products. They use different type of drinks that were called as soma and surak, which is also used during the religious ceremonies. Okay, they prepared special food during the special occasions. So these were the food habits. बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना, एक स्टोरी की तरह सुनिए एंड यू विल गेट द, बिकॉज नाउ यू हैव रेड अबाउट द सिविलाइजेशन, उसमें थोड़ा सा ऐड करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वैदिक है, तो व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इज द वैदिक पार्ट, द मेन उसका फैमिली पार्ट, द सोशल लाइफ, and what type of economic life was actually important during that era. Then gambling mein they all used to play different games, amusement, dicing, gambling, chariot racing, hunting. They were all interested in these type of, or they were aware of these type of games also. Then how the economic life is linked. Again, agriculture, the major part of their livelihood. Main occupation was that they all depended on the rain as well as the source of water. Then wheat, barley, cotton, and oilseeds were the main products. Domestication of animals में they were shepherds, the nomads, they were the shepherds who moved from that particular area, or cattle herds ये ले जाते थे. So they the one who have a lot of kettles, it was the measure of wealth for them. Now also in our society, the one who is having this गद्दी जो समाज होता है, अगर आपने read किया होगा, they have lot of kettles, they move, that is their measure of wealth. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बड़े गरीब हैं, they are very much rich people, and they were the measure of wealth for them. The kettles are actually the source of income for them. So it was a very the status of family is very judged by the number of cows they had. ये वो important था. So cows को बहुत important दिया गया था, and with the exchange of good also they used to use the cows, and they called as agnay. Okay, and they also reared horses, bulls, sheep, and dogs for their purposes. Then about the trade and commerce. Trade and commerce, maybe they use the terms of cows with the value of things, and they name that cow as a standard value as Nishka. मीन्स कोई एक्सचेंज भी करना हो, जैसे हम होता है ना कोई चीज को एक्सचेंज कर रहे हैं इन स्टेट की, मैंने एक काउ देनी है, अच्छा ओके, फॉर वन काउ वी गिव यू दिस टाइप ऑफ दिस things or any kind of grains, or in the exchange of things we can say निष्का. ये इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया. द काउज यू वर यूज्ड एज अ स्टैंडर्ड वैल्यू, उसको बोलते थे निष्का. एंड अगन्य फॉर द एक्सचेंज ऑफ गुड्स व्हिच वाज यूज्ड, so we call it as the aganya. Two terms. The cow was called aganya. Okay, so injuring and killing of cow was prohibited during that time, and cattle were this cow is used as a standard value, as a sort of a coin, sorry, it was called as Nishka. Two terms used for cow, Agnay and Nishka. Okay. Then the use of metals, iron was the great contribution of the Aryans. Okay, as it is harder and stronger, we all know. It has been used in different for making different tools, weapons. So that is why this iron gave a helpful, or it was helpful in developing their economic life. That is, they contributed in superior army because they give equipped weapons to them, tools, spears, arrowhead. So these were all made, and the copper was called as ayas, and srinis of the craftsmen were also used during that time. And the other occupation during this Rig Veda time, many carpenters were there, jewelers were there, goldsmith, chariot making. Means Aryans believed that no profession is below the dignity. All whoever have the skill will develop their own skill and will opt any kind of a profession. जैसे few of them होता है ना कि कुछ काम नहीं करना चाहते हैं because of their dignity. No, they believe that we should do whatever we have the quality, we should all follow them and do that particular work. काम के लिए कोई भी जरूरी नहीं है कि वो छोटा या बड़ा, अगर आप में मेहनत करने की हिम्मत हो. So this was about the different economic life as well as their social conditions. What is actually Vedas, why Vedic culture, Vedic civilization came, and why the name has been given to this Vedic civilization. इसमें main role है हमारे Aryans. I think so till here हमने बात की social life, economic life. So next will come the Gurukul and the political life, which will actually come up the different parts of the family as well as the religious beliefs. Hope you liked it. Thank you. Do like my video, and I'll go with the next the series of this Vedic civilization. So do watch. Thank you.